In a world that sometimes feels overwhelming, kindness is the light that reminds us of the good in humanity. God reminds us to love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Today we look at 3 powerful real-life stories of kindness that prove one small act can change the world. Stay until the end because these stories will touch your heart. Meet John, a homeless man who sat outside the same coffee shop every morning. He never begged for money. He just sat quietly, watching the world go by. Most people passed him without a second glance. Sarah, who frequented the cafe, had noticed John, but was hesitant to ask if he wanted a coffee, not wanting to embarrass herself or John. One day, Sarah got the nerve to ask John if he would like some coffee. Sarah stopped one day and offered him a cup of coffee. At first, John hesitated, but Sarah insisted, and they sat together and talked over a cup of coffee. Sarah didn't just give John coffee. She started talking to him. She learned that he once had a steady job, but after a series of unfortunate events, he lost everything. He had no family to turn to and had been on the street for 2 years. Sarah made it a habit to meet John every morning. She introduced him to the cafe staff, and soon they also started offering him warm meals. But Sarah went even further. She helped John reconnect with his long-lost sister, who had been searching for him for years. With her encouragement, John applied for a job at the same cafe where he once sat outside. That simple cup of coffee changed John's life forever. Today he has a stable job, a home, and most importantly, hope. It all started because one woman chose to stop and show kindness. When you are walking the paths of righteousness, look for opportunities to be kind. An act of kindness can be as simple as asking how your day is going, asking if you need any help, a cup of coffee, a drink of water. Matthew 25:35, Jesus said, "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. For I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Jesus was asked, "Lord, we did not see you." Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." Remember, Jesus is everywhere, and we're all his children, and we should try to help others whenever we have a chance. Let's take a look at our next story, and another act of kindness. In a small town, there was a high school teacher named Ms. Roberts. She was known for her warm smile and the way she made every student feel special. But there was one student, Emily, who rarely spoke, never raised her hand, and always sat in the back of the classroom, staring down at her desk. While other teachers overlooked her, Ms. Roberts noticed. One day, instead of just marking her test with a grade, she wrote a small note on the corner of the page. "I believe in you." Emily didn't react at first, but she saved the paper. Week after week, Ms. Roberts kept leaving little notes on Emily's assignments. "You are smart. You matter. I see your potential." Emily never responded, but Ms. Roberts didn't stop. Then one day, Emily turned in an essay, her first real effort in months. The topic? the one person who never gave up on me." Ms. Roberts read the paper and was astonished. Years later, Ms. Roberts received a letter in the mail. It was from Emily, now an accomplished writer. In the envelope was an old notebook filled with every note Ms. Roberts had ever written to her. At the bottom of the letter, Emily wrote, "Your words saved my life." Sometimes the smallest gestures, a kind word, a note of encouragement, can change a person's entire future. Romans 11:22. "Consider therefore kindness and sternness of God, sternness to those who fell, but kindness to you, provided that you continue in his kindness." Our last story exemplifies how one good deed can lead to another good deed, which can lead to another good deed. A young mother named Lisa stood at the checkout line, her toddler clinging to her. As the cashier rang up her groceries, Lisa nervously watched the total rise. Her heart sank. She was short on cash. Embarrassed, she began to put items back when an elderly man behind her gently touched her shoulder and said, "Don't worry, I've got this." Lisa tried to refuse, but the man simply smiled and said, "Just pay it forward someday." She never forgot him. A few years later, Lisa had finally regained financial stability. One day, while shopping, she saw another mother struggling at the checkout, just as she once had. Without hesitation, Lisa stepped forward and said the same words that had once been said to her. "Don't worry, I've got this." The mother burst into tears, thanking her over and over. That act of kindness didn't stop there. The grateful mother later shared the story online, inspiring hundreds of people to start their own Pay It Forward movement in their community. Kindness is contagious. What starts as a small act can spread across cities, countries, and the entire world. Galatians 5:22, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and self-control." The beauty of kindness is that it doesn't have to be big to make a big impact. Whether it's simple smile, a kind word, or helping someone in need, you have the power to change someone's life today. Leave a note in the comments section if you've helped someone else. If this video inspired you, give it a like and share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness is everywhere. Let's make the world a better place, one act at a time. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's do an act of kindness together. Thanks again. Bye for now.